only had to wait. Always knew I'd make a way. Send a bill, they send a pay. Keep it real, keep the record straight. Keep it real, no time to fake. All authentic in my own lane. I am me till I'm in the grave. Trendsetter, I got style for you. They see you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. Never panic, get a worry, send it up in an advantage. Yeah. I can't stand it. I don't know the way you move and see you scrambling. On offense, no defense. Still strong, no weakness. Used to say I wouldn't beat this. Now they wish they could beat this. Table set, not tables turn. God's plan, don't say a word. Know the price, cause I know my worth. My time, get what I deserve. Trendsetter, I got style for you. They see you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. You know my body never know. You know my body never know. Good morning, everybody. This is Jeremiah's J-Man Manero with J-Man Speaks, coming to you live. That's right. We're coming to you live with 18 Friday because Ask the Experts Anything Meaningful. We had to bust out a little. Is that the 18th theme song? What? All right, I can't play the whole thing because I don't want to get copyright infringement. But first thing I want to do is introduce our special guest. Her name is Shauna Lynn Simon. She's coming to us from the great, I want to say state, but it's the country of Canada, just our neighbors up north. We're going to bring her into the stream here. And so, real friends, here we go.
There we go.
Real friends will live stream with you on short notice about anything. And so I feel like Shauna Lynn, she's a good friend because I asked her to come on here. And I thought about, if I was an agent or if I was just a person, which I am, a human being, what would I be thinking about right now? And I thought staging for the holidays was great. So let's, Shauna, I want you, for those who don't know you, if they were hiding somewhere with no access to social media or anything like that.
Living under a rock, yeah, totally.
Living under a rock, yes. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I've been operating a home staging and design firm in Canada, as you said, for about the last dozen or so years. And about 5 years ago, I opened up a home stager training program. So I offer training to teach people how to become a successful home stager. So we offer certification and continuing education. And then, of course, because I don't have enough things going on, I love giving back. I love helping others. I love helping entrepreneurs to thrive. And so, of course, I also offer business coaching through Shauna Lynn Simon Coaching. And as you said, I am in beautiful Canada. And here's something that's interesting. So for any Americans there, I think that this is full disclosure. You need to know, you're all starting to think about Halloween. You're starting to think about Thanksgiving. Fun fact, our Thanksgiving is this weekend.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I never thought about that because you just didn't have the pilgrims that totally ravaged the Native Americans and gave them smallpox on a blanket, and we celebrate that, but that's a different story.
I mean, our story's not much better, to be perfectly honest. It is a similar type of story, but yes, our Thanksgiving is a different time of the year. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. But let's give you a round of applause because you made it here with us today. And I have all these cool sound effects, so I'm going to be using them.
Use them. I need to, I needed that. It's been a long week. I needed to feel like, someone needs to congratulate me for getting through the week, I feel like. Yeah.
Well, and it's like sometimes this virtual round of applause, that's not enough, man. If we're used to being on a stage and hearing it, I need to hear it. So we applaud you. Thank you for being here with us. Let's get right into it. We have some viewers. If you guys are watching, feel free to type anything in the comments, any questions you might have, because it is Ask the Experts Anything Meaningful. So make sure it's meaningful because there are stupid questions, and we don't want you to ask those. Well, staging for the holidays. I know in real estate, if you watch HGTV, they're like, you should be, it's that time of year. Let's stage this nicely. But it's funny because when I messaged you, you were like, absolutely not. It's going to date the house.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So when it comes to, because we get this question all the time, and especially when it comes to, the festivities around Christmas time, even more so, but we hear a lot of it around Thanksgiving as well and around Halloween. People are saying, well, I want to put my holiday decor out. Can I put my holiday decor out? And, the short answer is you can put it out, but just after photos. So make sure that the photos that are being taken for the MLS listing are done before you put any decor out. Because if your home does end up sitting on the market, which of course, if you've had it professionally staged, it shouldn't. But nonetheless, if your home is sitting on the market, depending on your area, maybe your average days on market in your area is 45 days. Well, the last thing you want is to have your Thanksgiving decorations up on December 21st when people are no longer thinking about Thanksgiving. Right. So
yeah. Well, and we always recommend hiring a professional, whether it's staging, whether it's photography, whether it's video. and it's like then you have to pay your photographer to come back out and take new pictures.
Yeah, no one wants to do that. Yeah, so exactly, because we want to keep them current. So it's not terrible to have some decor when buyers are coming through when it's relevant. It's more about the photos that you don't want to have it staged for. So that said, if you are going to be selling your home during the holidays, you want to put out some festive decor. You want to be really tasteful with it and really low key with it as much as possible, and know your audience. So for example, if I've got, and I understand that $1 million plus property is a very different saying depending on what city you're in. But, for most people, let's just say like, a high end luxury, million plus, 2 million plus, whatever that high end luxury looks like in your area. If you're in, California, 5 million plus, whatever, so 4 million plus gets you a nice fixer upper. So, but 5 million, you can get a nice luxury.
Right.
In any case, so wherever you are, whatever that higher end market is, if you're in the higher end market. Let's be real about this. If you're in that market. And if you are, you definitely want to be more tasteful in your decor. So use neutral colors, keep things as generic as possible. I would steer away from doing anything too Halloween-ish, regardless of what the price point is. It's something that not everyone enjoys, and to be perfectly frank, it will distract people. You want people to see the house. You don't want them to see your decorations. But some nice fall decor, some nice, Christmas decor when that time comes around, is definitely perfectly fine, but keep it as neutral as possible. I love bringing nature inside. So anytime you can bring in nature, that tends to blend in really well and doesn't kind of stand out as this big thing. But if you have like a massive blow up pumpkin on your front lawn, that might get noticed a little bit different. You totally do, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
Somehow I knew that. I knew that too.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend that when you're selling your house.
Right.
One thing that I love to do to kind of neutralize some of the decor is spray paint. Grab some nice white or cream or gold or silver spray paint and spray paint your pumpkins, spray paint your gourds. And then you've got this nice consistent look. So it kind of blends in more, but still gives you that holiday decor, right? I love bringing things like pine cones and cedar branches and leaves and stuff like that inside. You can also spray paint all of those things. I'm telling you, I use a lot of spray paint for fall. I can show you so many pictures of fall decor. I used to do a ton of fall decor for clients. It's probably my favorite season to decorate. I'd grab bales of hay. That's also a fun thing. You can put bales of hay around your front porch, put some pumpkins on top of it. Like there's a ton of cool things you can do. Don't bring the hay inside.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if my kids are watching, we're not bringing any of this inside, okay?
No.
Hey, no. Okay.
No, that stuff needs to stay outside for sure. Also, I apologize if you hear crying in the background. It is not a child, it is a cat. But I always just like to clarify that I am not a terrible mother ignoring my children. I'm just a terrible mother ignoring my cats.
You are a cat lady. So
I am.
We'll celebrate that. You've had numerous cat bombings, I guess you'd call them, in your webinars, like, where's cat was stolen by?
I used to actually, whenever I would do the videos, I would take my cat's collars off so you couldn't hear the jingling bells. And, I sometimes try to lock them out of the room. And I finally just, I've been doing this for so many years now. I've just embraced it. If you don't like cats, you're not going to enjoy watching any video from me. It's just how it is.
So the stage, it's a good point that you make about Halloween. Like, don't be a Halloweenie. Or too Halloweeny, I guess.
But I love Halloween. Can I just say that? That was probably my favorite holiday of the year. It is my favorite. I love it.
So do I. But I can get what you're saying, like when it's overdone and like your house is on the market. You stage your house one way. To sell it, you live in it a totally different way.
Well, think of it this way. Whenever I consult with a client for preparing their house for sale, they often have very specific questions about items throughout the house. Like, should this stay or should it go? Should this stay or should it go? And I always tell them, here's a great general rule to think of. Is it something that is going to take the focus away from the room? Is it a distraction? Because if it is distracting in any way, get rid of it. And that goes to holiday decor or anything. It's a great general rule to be using. But remember, you're selling your house. And so while you might think like, oh, it'd be great if I can, have them focus on this beautiful piece of artwork because it was a really famous artist and I spent a ton of money and got it shipped here from Italy or whatever. And so I want people to notice that. But the problem is if they walk out of the house and only remember that, that's not enough to make them buy the house. They have to remember the actual house itself.
That's a great point. When people have that expensive artwork and it's like, you don't understand. That's a clutter rally. But I'm like, I don't care. This one still sucks. Like, what do you mean? You know, like
especially if it's a clown. I have one of my favorite pieces of artwork in my own house is an old poster from Barnum and Bailey's Circus. It's awesome. Beautiful, but it's got this crazy looking clown on it. I love clowns, so it doesn't bother me, but I can tell you that over the years, I've had more than a few people comment that, like, you need to get rid of the clown. So for selling purposes, clowns got to come down.
Clowns got to go.
Clowns got to go.
So what about, we talk about selling, but, I posted this on my regular page because I have human beings that follow me, not just buyers and sellers, right? Yeah. And it's like, it's always that I'm hosting. I'm hosting. How can I stage my house? I got to really pretend like I got my stuff together and I want it to look nice. There's the catch-all room where everything's going to get thrown into. What are your recommendations to like staging for the holidays? You're going to have people over for Thanksgiving, or you're going to have them over for you. It's very soon. For us, it's next month, or for Christmas, or just the kids that come back and the family members that come back from school during the breaks and stuff like that.
So first of all, don't stress about it. In all honesty, no one's judging you. You might think that they are. Maybe your sister-in-law is just a little bit, but like for the most part, they're not judging you. But don't try to do anything that's beyond what you're going to be capable of maintaining too. So I generally recommend stick with some good outdoor decor, some nice planters, some nice pumpkins, gourds, things that are very, very low maintenance. The cool thing is that fall plants are super easy to maintain. They don't take a lot of water, that you don't have to bring them in if it gets too cold. They're meant to withstand that temperature. So some nice, marigolds, mums, those types of plants are nice and hardy and work great. As far as the inside, focus more on the table than anywhere else in the house, because realistically, that's the main place that people are going to see. If you want to put up a little bit of fall decor, if you've already got things on the wall, consider taking some things down and maybe replace with a nice fall looking wreath or something. Or if you've got like a beautiful framed piece of artwork on the wall, take some leaves and put them around the artwork. Keep it as simple as you can. If you have pets, kids, anyone that's going to destroy anything that you have, make sure you're not putting a ton of things around the grounds that they're going to just knock over and destroy. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've all heard the horrible story of the jack-o'-lantern that got eaten by the cat or the dog or whatever.
We had a squirrel eat one on our front porch. It came out and like half the pumpkin was gone. I'm like, dude, you guys hungry? There's a lot of walnuts around. Like, why are you guys eating what did the pumpkin do? Like, I don't understand.
Because the pumpkin took a lot less work than the walnuts. I have some lazy squirrels, so
yeah. They're just like, oh, this is soft. Yeah,
like this is easy.
That's a good point. Well, what about the folks like down like south, where they don't have deciduous trees like we do, and then I'm like, oh, it's a lovely fall day. They're like, palm trees and sun. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So in that case, you might need to fake it a little bit, but bring in some of the fall colors. Fall colors are definitely your oranges, your browns, sort of those nice warm colors. And, you can bring in the fall spirit without actually having the fall temperatures. Start all things pumpkin spice, all things pumpkins, there's lots of things you can be doing still. Another thing that's really fall-ish is your root vegetables, like your squash and your turnips and those types of things. And what's really cool is you can actually make a centerpiece out of these items and then eat them. Like they don't actually
what's better than that? Repurpose your decorations.
Right? Just don't spray paint them. Don't eat the spray painted ones.
Don't Please. Eat the paint, folks.
Don't eat the paint. No.
Definitely. That's today's survival tip. So what else, like after the holidays, like I guess for me, because we just decorated for Halloween, it's like you got all these Halloween bins and then next that's going to come down. And then it's like, I guess maybe you do Thanksgiving and then that comes down and then you do Christmas and then it's just regular. Like what's,
yeah, I mean, usually by January, we're all kind of like decorated out. We're done with it.
Decorations.
Yeah, you can do the New Year's. You can do Valentine's Day if you want. But I mean, in all honesty, I think most of us are just happy to pack things up and put them away. But one thing that makes it a little bit easier, because we are transitioning through so many holidays at this time of year, if you have any items that can be sort of repurposed, so for example, if you have like apothecary jars or large hurricane vases that you can put things in, you can simply keep that same vase out and change what's inside of it. And if you are in you need me to define what these things are? Okay. Yeah. I had a feeling you were going to go there.
You're using big words. You got to keep it,
All right. So an apothecary jar, apothecaries, the old pharmaceutical,
Oh, okay.
they used to have these glass jars with a nice lid on it.
I think of it as a candy jar. Okay.
Okay. A candy jar. Yeah. There you go. A candy jar. And then a hurricane vase is like a really wide vase, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, if you have those.
Like in New Orleans, they have these hurricane drinks, and it's very different. It's very big like that, but it doesn't.
I mean, if you want to fill it up with a drink, that could last you all season too. I mean, it's COVID times, so anything goes during COVID, right? So.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. So keep going. So you have the apothecary jars, or perhaps the hurricane vase.
So yeah, you can fill those up with a variety of things as the seasons change. And another thing that you can put in them is nuts. If you've got, like whole nuts, not like ones that are in their shell still. Like grab some walnuts. You kind of remind me when we were talking about the squirrels. Grab some walnuts, grab some hazelnuts, grab some, whatever kind of nuts and shells, and throw them in there. And then you can also, again, you can still eat them too. So I love the idea of kind of repurposing things as much as possible. It's one of the reasons why I say to bring in natural pine cones and leaves wherever you can. Make sure the leaves are dried out, otherwise they go moldy. But bringing in actual pine, actual cedar. I love doing that because it's, taking from nature and giving back to nature, because disposal is easy. That said, if you're in an area where you don't have easy access to those items, there are some great knockoff artificial versions of these things that you can find if you needed to.
Stop it.
Or they can simply message you, J-Man, and you'll ship them to them, right?
Absolutely. We will be shipping trees, whatever you need. Right. Just know the shipping is extra. Shipping and handling will be a little extra.
Yes. The handling especially. I would love to see how you package those things up to ship them. I can only imagine.
So I guess, and I know you have to go soon, and just let me know, like, hey, I got to go. And go. But when it comes to the trees, like I can't go artificial. I just can't. It hurts my soul.
Yeah.
Right. And now we have a tradition. It's like the Griswold. It's like we go out and cut the tree on a farm.
Yeah.
Put it on our like a pioneer. Put it on my back, and then hope I get home with it when I'm roping it around my car and stuff. It's an experience.
I'm sure it is. Yes.
Memories. We're creating memories for the children.
Yes.
Do you prefer, like, from a staging perspective? Because then it's always like, okay, but what will be neat and tidy? Do I get a fake tree, add a little spray of evergreen in the air? What do we do?
You know what? There isn't a hard and fast rule on that. Again, it goes back to, for the photos, nothing in the photos, but we actually took photos one time where the client had already put up their tree, and we slid the tree from room to room to get it out of the photos as the photographer went around. Also an option. But when it comes to artificial versus real, there's a lot of different opinions on this as to what makes the most sense, what's most environmentally friendly. They have shown over the years, originally when artificial trees came out, it was don't cut down our trees. They've actually shown, though, that having these trees grown and cut and utilized is actually a really good way to go. It's very socially responsible. Again, taking from nature, giving back to nature. It is a bit more of a fire hazard. So I think just regardless of what you're doing, just be super safe about it. So if you do have a tree in your house and you've got showings going on, I know you want to have those lights on. Make sure that tree is well watered before turning the lights on. Make sure that your electrical's in order. Make sure you don't have any animals chewing the cords. Like, do everything you can to make sure that it's safe, because you really shouldn't have your Christmas tree lights on if you are not home. That's kind of always been the general rule. Just most people don't abide by it. They put it on a nice timer and cool, it goes on. But just be very safe about it. But I still love the real tree. I do. But you got to keep up with it. You got to make sure that those needles that are falling are getting, picked up quickly, cleaned up, have a good system for, and keep it nice and water. Those things. The thing is that the real trees that people I think underestimate is how thirsty they are. They're used to being outside and pulling up all the juice they need from the ground, and now we've got them in this teensy tiny little bowl, basically.
Oh, yes. How can I drink what I need? Yeah. So we, I think it was last year, the year before. It's a tree watering funnel, if you will.
Yes.
It is the best thing. I'm like, how did this not exist for the last 100 years? It's like a little funnel you put in the tree, but it goes all the way down to the tree stand, so you don't have to do it, because that was always the most annoying thing in our household. It's a discussion. That's argument. You water the tree? No, you water. No, I want to get under the tree and like the pine needles and you're scratching all like get all sappy and stuff. It's like, this is so perfect. Now the kids they volunteer to do it because it's
a cool thing.
It's a cool thing. They get to go to water button and they just fill it up. And I think talking from a tech perspective, you could get any kind of like Google Home or Alexa based stuff that you could plug in your lights and go, okay, Google, turn off my Christmas lights. Or you could program it that when you leave the house, the lights turn off. You leave the house, the lights come back on. Because that's, again, I'm all about convenience and efficiency. Anytime I have to hit another switch or unplug something, there might be a likelihood that I won't do it or just not feel like doing it because it's like I'm done.
You can definitely connect it to your phone. There's so many smart options nowadays with that. So 100%. And it's such an easy thing for anyone who's not tech savvy. I think a lot of people don't realize it's a matter of something that the lights plug into that then goes into your outlet. It's not like you have to buy a specific type of Christmas lights. It's very easy to do. Yeah.
I'll give you an example. My mom's probably not watching, but my mom.
Your mom doesn't watch you every single time you do a video?
No. In the beginning, she was like always commenting, "Oh, love you, son." I'm like, "Mom, I'm playing with my friends. Come on, you're embarrassing me." So, she catches it every once in a while, and she hates when I talk about her. But she goes, I walk into her living room, I hit the switch, and I'm like, "What the heck? Oh, your lights don't work." She goes, "Oh no, I have a remote for my lights." Boop, boop. I'm like, "Oh my God, you're so techie, Mom." It's like, she's like, "What?" She's like popping her collar, like, "I'm so techie." Talking about switches. We don't use switches in this household, son. It was funny. So anybody can do it. 'Cause my mom.
Anybody can do it. That's right.
Techie. I'm not techie by blood. Just relay Sean.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, whatever you choose to do, artificial or real, also be careful with some of the artificial trees. There is something to be said for you get what you pay for. Make sure that it's made out of safe material as well. Non-toxic, ideally. Like what I wanted to get a feather tree. Did you see these feather trees? This was, I don't know, about 10 years ago or so. It was like the cool thing to do was these feather trees that came out. Oh yeah, they were super cute. I'm pretty sure you guys had them in the US as well, but I can tell you that like you probably wouldn't have noticed because it didn't look like a real tree, but every woman I knew was like, yes, I want this feather tree. But it was really, one of the reasons why I didn't buy it is I was looking at the instructions for it and it said, do not put lights on this tree because it's a serious fire hazard. Like, what's the point of having a tree without lights on it?
Yeah, unless the lights are built in. That's ridiculous.
No, but like you can't, not even built-in lights because it's such a fire hazard. I'm like, well, if it's that big of a fire hazard, I probably just shouldn't have this thing in my house. Right. Let's be safe about it. But anyway, I know we're kind of getting off topic, but when it comes to decorating the tree, can I just say, decorate the tree however the heck you want. That is my best advice. Yes, it's nice to have the beautiful, consistent, color-themed decorations, but at the end of the day, do what's going to make you happy. I love the ornaments. I love seeing people's trees where they have like unique personal ornaments on it. That kind of captures your heart and captures your soul a little bit more. But so do what's going to make you happy. But again, if you are selling your home during the holidays, try to have the tree up for as little time as possible. And if you are going to have people coming through the house, avoid having ornaments on your tree that maybe have people's names on them. Those can be really distracting, or have people's photos in them. I would have those. If you want to have them on the tree, maybe just have them at the back side of the tree. Maybe just spin the tree when people aren't around, and
Yeah.
There's ways of getting around it. Yeah.
How do you feel? This might be the last question because I want you to get you out on time. Are you okay?
Yeah, we can do one more.
Okay. Last question is, how do you feel about the people? Because I've had clients go, "All right, I'm going to bring my tree out today," and I go, "You're going to bring it out?" they literally put it away in the closet, totally decorated, obviously artificial. And then they just pull the thing out. They're like, all done. I'm like, what? What did you just do?
I mean, if they have the space for storing it that way, I guess that's kind of the first thing. But I feel like some people don't enjoy decorating a tree, so I get it. You know, like I feel like that takes away from the experience of decorating a tree. But if you don't feel like it's taken away, I think the only thing I would say is that each year do a little something to make it just a little different. Sure, if you want to keep it basically the same, but do something a little bit different each year, you know, maybe change up some ribbon on it or something, move around some ornaments. I don't know. But if you're putting the same thing out every year, I don't know. It gets kind of boring, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Elf would not be happy.
Elf would not be happy. But I mean, if it makes you happy, you know, if you prefer, if you're someone who would rather gouge your eyes out than decorate a tree every year, then, you know, do what works for you.
It's usually like the dinks, we call them, the dual income, no kids. They're like, all right, yeah, I got to decorate. My friends come out, pull the tree out. We're good? We're good now? I got some fake presents to put under the tree too. Hold on, I got these empty boxes I wrapped. Here we go. All right, fantastic. Have a good day.
I mean, you got to love the empty boxes wrapped. I mean, right?
I'm highly successful. Look at all of my presents that I have wrapped under the tree. Yes.
Well, the way you should do it actually is you wrap the lid separate from the bottom part, you know, like they do on the TV shows and on the movies and stuff. I've always thought like that's such a great way to open a gift. You don't have to tear off any wrapping paper. And then you can use that decorative box all year round.
We're on to something now. Man.
Why
Shauna,
not?
thank you so much. Wait, we're going to give you an excited round of applause now.
What?
Standing ovation. Come everybody.
I miss live speaking.
Right?
Like,
it's so different. That's why one of the reasons why I got like this sound effects thing and all that, because like I did a webinar the other day, there was 400 people on, but the chat was off. There's no, you know, and so I'm like, I was like, oh man, I think that was funny.
And so quick side note on this. Like, do you walk around? Do you present in front of a screen normally? Like that's my biggest thing is that I have a heart. I hate sitting in this chair. I need to be, I move around a lot.
I'll take my DSLR and I put it up and I stand and I got, you know, there's a whole green screen behind me and stuff like that. So I grab the mic and then I walk and talk like I would. I mean, I'm limited, but I could still walk and talk. And then I have my clicker that I can click through the presentation. For me, it's been the biggest lifesaver because look I'm sitting down now and I'm still like,
yeah, I'm like you. I move around a lot. I'm very fidgety, especially when I'm talking. And when I get I'm very animated. So I feel like it's harder for me to do that just sitting in this chair. And that's one of the reasons why like my chair is constantly spinning. They probably shouldn't give me spinning chairs because I'm constantly moving still. So distracting. I know.
Well, you know, I look forward to someday. Well, actually, me, because I don't think we've never met. We've always done. I've met you virtually, and we've done all this stuff virtually, but we feel like we've known each other a long time. Yes. So I do appreciate you. Thank you for being with us today.
Me on. Yeah.
Ask the experts anything meaningful. If you guys found anything of interest today, share it, okay? Because if you didn't find anything of interest, then you're not our friends, and we don't.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. So thank you, Shauna. I'm going to let you go.
Thank you, J-Man.
Talk about. I guess I'll talk about technology next.
Sure, you got some things you can talk about. Can always find something to talk about. You
Two tree.
There you go. Well, hopefully that you guys enjoyed these tips that I gave. And, you know, if anyone has any, I'd love to see what people are doing for their holiday decor. Feel free to, you know, find me on social, pop a picture on there, tell me what's going on.
We'll put it in the comments too. So, you know, ways to reach you, because keep in mind, folks, she has a home staging business. She has a school for home stagers, and she's also a coach.
Yes.
And wait, the fourth thing is she's a mom to 16 or 17
a whole lot of cats.
Yeah.
Only 8 right now.
Only 8. Okay, great.
Only 8.
Not to call orders yet.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. It's been an absolute pleasure. Let me know if you need me again for one of these things. I'll hop on with you anytime, J-Man. I always appreciate all that you do.
Thank you. You're the best. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, folks. This is just me now. This is me, Jeremiah's J-Man Monero. J-Man Speaks, coming to you still live and direct. So I want to give her another round of applause because it's pretty awesome, right? Oh, yeah. So who do you know that maybe they're unemployed, wondering what to do? Maybe they got laid off. Maybe they're making a career change. Home staging is critical to the real estate industry. We love it. We use it with our listings, but also, if you know a home stager that needs to be coached or anything like that, we can help. She can help you with that. I think in the second half, again, I'm looking for you guys to give me questions because it's called Ask the Experts, anything meaningful. What I can talk about as I wait for questions is my new Stream Deck. Okay, and I guess I could probably try to cut to another camera. Hold on. Make sure that one turns on. Yeah, I could cut to camera two. But I acquired this. It's called Stream Deck. It's from a company called Elgato. And what the Stream Deck does, I guess I could show you like this, is it has all these buttons. Can you see that? So each one of these buttons is labeled to do something differently. So if I wanted to, let's say, go back to my countdown, I could push a button and it's going right back to my countdown. If I wanted to, each one of these is called, a scene that I've created. If I had a presentation to do, I'd be doing a presentation there. If I wanted to go to my whiteboard, hold on one second, I cut to that camera. Hello. Come back and sit down. Boom. See how nice those transitions are? So, if you watch me, you know that I use a program called Ecamm Live. Well, the challenge is, like right now, I'm on a program called BeLive.tv using Ecamm. BeLive.tv is Chrome based. So I have to have Chrome up, right? I then have Ecamm up as well. And if you don't have a multiple screen setup, it could be a pain in the butt. Now, when I want to do those sound effects are listed in Ecamm. So let me see, I'm going to try to, I have to go behind the scenes and do this and do that. Hold on one second. Come over here. All right, so I'm going to try to add this camera here. Boom. Ready? Look at this. Oh, I got two cameras. Let me take this off for a second because I'm going to take away okay, none. Apply. All right. So you get a little behind the scenes. That's an older camera, so it's going to be a little bit glitchier. But let's see if I bring it over here. Hi, everybody. Okay, so here is, can't pull that. See, this is just an old kind of temperamental. Here, let me see. One second. Feel free to post your questions. All right, this is going to be cool, I feel like, but let's see what you feel like. This is the Stream Deck right here. So I'm going to bring this into the shot so you can get an idea of what's happening. Has a little stand. So this bad boy, this is equipment, right? This is hardware. We talk about software and hardware. People like that. Let's see if that works. Go down like this. Boom, 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 boom. It's not going to look the way I want it to. Oh, there we go. Okay, so as I demonstrate, as I proceed to give you what you need. Okay, there, I like that shot. I'd probably use a little bit better definition, but it doesn't matter. So I can, as you see here, right, if I go here, the POW, you can probably hard for you to see that in the middle there. The streaming service I use, Carol, is called Ecamm Live, and I'll share my screen here in a second and demonstrate that. But see, so I go into my sound effects. Now I have sound effects listed on the program as well. If I go up here, on my second screen. See all these sound effects? They're all listed here. So I can do that, but this, I have this off camera and I can go like this and go, okay, I want laughter. Oh, everybody laugh. Oh, that was so funny. Oh my gosh. And I press it again and I can stop it. If I come over here and I go, oh, I'm in my social ninja media group, which if you haven't joined our group on Facebook, here we go. So the stream deck was $150. But here's what you can do. If you have an iPhone, if you go to the Elgato Stream Deck, just Google Elgato Stream Deck app. They actually have an app for the iPhone. It's $3 a month. So you could try it out for a couple months, and you'll have these buttons. It's not the same because it's push button. I like the feel of it, but you can see like I have all these sound effects I've created. Maybe I tell a joke and it's not that funny. Crickets, right? I got crickets, and then the applause you guys already heard. But if somebody says something good, I'm like, oh, you're a savage. I'm a savage, yeah. Or when I'm getting ready to start something. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. And I have all these pre-programmed. If I feel like you are the king of the jungle, I'm going to give you a lion's roar. So those are sound effects, but then I also have music in here, music pre-programmed that's queued up and ready to go at any time. I can switch through the cameras. I have 4 cameras set up, so I can switch through that as well. Doesn't seem to be refreshing. It seems to be frozen. Let's see if I add it back. Hold on a second. It's interesting. All right, well, you get the idea. So with that Stream Deck, again, if you want to take your live streams to the next level, because there's the progression, right? I don't believe in ever being successful because I continuously try to raise the bar. I'm like, okay, first thing I wanted to do was to do live streams. So I'd say, grab your phone, do a live stream. That's fine, right? We still do live streams from new listings that we have. We still do live streams when we're out in the field. That's fine. But if you're going to hop on and do some kind of webinar, some kind of show that you want to create, you want it to have that show feel, right? That producer, that nice, even like right now, I have a DSLR camera right here that's more expensive than a webcam, but look at the quality, right? And then I have the program that I'm using, and then I have the lights. All of that gives it a nice professional look. By the way, let me show this to Lisa. It says closer, Lisa, okay? That's funny. Good morning. You guys are really funny. So it's coffee for closers. So that's that. This is what I can do for you guys. I'm going to pull up all 4 cameras. All 4 cameras at once. Doo-doo-doo. All 4 cameras at once. Do this, and do this, and then do this. Here's Jeremiah served 4 different ways. So you can see this is my DSLR, the one in the upper right-hand corner. In the left-hand side, that's the FaceTime integrated webcam. And then this one is a Logitech 615, I want to say. It's still supposed to be 1080p. You could see the difference in all 3, right? If you go to the FaceTime one, the integrated MacBook one, it's still 720, but it's a little bit fuzzy. And then the 4th one, I'm bring the microphone with me so you can still hear me. Hold on a second. This 4th one here, that's a Logitech C920, I believe. A little bit more updated. I think when you want to look at how the refresh rate is, I feel like lighting will make a difference, obviously. That's my green screen. I would change that and put brakes on it so you guys wouldn't know what the situation is. But you get the idea. That's 4 different cameras, 4 different views, 4 different qualities, if you ask my opinion. But I'm going to take this away, and I'm going to take this away. All right, so any other questions? Again, ask the experts anything meaningful about live streaming. Here's the last thing I guess I'll leave you with, because I don't like to drag these on. When it comes to live streaming, I promise you, there's going to be problems. Guaranteed something's going to go wrong. Something's gone wrong today. You don't know it, though. I don't necessarily always tell you everything that's going wrong. But what I want you to think about, back over there, is that you just keep going. Okay? Just keep going. You don't have to worry like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. They're going to think I'm stupid. Doesn't matter. It's live streaming. So just make sure you have fun with it. Make sure you show your personality. It's really great to use, a program like this, because look at, hey, Carol, thanks for tuning in. We think you're really cool too. Carol's doing some big things over in the Northern Adirondack region of New York. And then we got Lisa Betts. She's our Speakers Bureau agent, if you will, realestatespeakers.com. Thank you for being here with us. And then, of course, we got James Jock. He's also from New York State, Watertown, in that area. Maybe it was Watertown when he came to SRES. I think he might be Southern Adirondack, Northern Adirondack. I don't know. It's from New York State. All right, folks. So this is Jeremiah's J-Man Monero. J-Man Speaks. Without any other questions, I'm going to let you guys go. But this has been a pleasure. Feel free to type anything in the comments for further ideas for next week, because we'd like to bring you something that you might value, something you feel like you want to learn more about. So it's Jeremiah's J-Man Monero, J-Man Speaks. Hold on, folks. You know what we're going to end with. Thank you for tuning in for A-Team Friday, because we love the A-Team. Ask the experts anything meaningful. Bum, bum, bum.